See the spinal cord. Spinal cord is cylindrical in shape. Although we say it is cylindrical in shape, it is flattened anteroposteriorly. This is the cranial end of spinal cord. It lies at the level of upper border of first cervical vertebra. You can see the lower end of the spinal cord. It is tapering in a conical form. So we call this lower end of spinal cord as conus medullaris. In adults, it lies at level of L1, and in newborn, it lies at level of L3. You can see the meningeal coverings of the spinal cord. This two layers includes both dura mater and then arachnoid mater. The pia mater is plastered over the surface of spinal cord, and in the lower end, you can see the bunch of nerves attached to the spinal cord, and this bunch of nerves are called as cauda equina. We can see the attachment of spinal nerves. These are the rootlets. This is the anterior surface, so these are called as ventral root of the spinal cord, and on the dorsal surface there will be a dorsal root, and these two roots combine to form the trunk of the spinal nerve. You can see the trunk of the spinal nerve, and they also receive the tubular outer covering over that. Coming for modifications of pia mater, the first one is the ligamentum denticulatum. You can see a triangular shaped structure, a teeth like structure of pia mater, and that is anchored to the dura mater. So this triangular shaped structure is called as ligamentum denticulatum. Then the second one is filum terminale. It is a non-nervous filamentous thread that is attached to the lower end of spinal cord. So this final thread is called as filum terminale. This is called as filum terminale. You can see the upper part of spinal cord. It is somewhat enlarged. So this we call this enlargement as cervical enlargement. And same, you can see the enlargement in the lower part of spinal cord. So this enlargement is called as lumbar enlargement. Coming for the other external feature, you can see the anterior median fissure here. This is the anterior median fissure. It is somewhat deep longitudinal cleft running along the entire length of spinal cord. Then on the posterior side, you can see a very faint longitudinal groove. This is the posterior median sulcus, which is not so prominent here. On either side, you can see the posterolateral sulcus. This is the posterolateral sulcus. You can see the attachment of the dorsal rootlets of spinal nerve. And here you can see this is the anterior lateral sulcus, where you can see the attachment of the ventral rootlet of the spinal nerves.